Hey, it's our first time using the the pressure canner for canning venison. We're going to can about 7 quarts of cubed venison, and we're starting out with frozen. We thawed them out yesterday. Some of this is from 2011, some of it is from 2010. We thawed it out. I'm taking off all the silver skin and any fat, and cubing it up into small portions that after they cook down, we can use them for stroganoff or over noodles. If you look real close, this is why I like venison. Hardly any fat at all. But the great thing about the pressure cooker is when it cooks it down, it'll be nice and tender. And we'll be adding a few spices you'll see later on as we can. And that'll impart a little flavor, a little garlic, a little onion, and but that's where we're at right now. We cube it up. We'll fill up each jar. We have 7 quart jars. That's how much my canner can hold, and that's about all for right now. We'll see you next time. All right. Well, that took a long time. Got all the meat cut up. One thing that I did notice and if you look back at the first section of the video, one of the bags was marked grind. Okay. Use roasts. Trust me. You'll see a little bit more. You won't see silver skin so much as you'll see some ends, because I was using very small cuts of meat. So some are going to be better than others, but when it's in a pressure cooker, it'll cook down. Now the next thing we do is we add our mix, our seasoning mix. Now we took, per each quart, we'll have 8 teaspoons of broth, a half a teaspoon of Lowry's, and then 2 teaspoons of granulated onion. And then on top of that, well, we have all that. This is the equivalent of what we'll put in 1 quart. So we'll go ahead and load that in. You can just put this right in on top of it. And as it's cooking, it's going to cook for 90 minutes in the pressure cooker. Has to do that to make sure everything's sterile and that there's no germs or anything. That's the thing about pressure cooking. And on top of that, we'll put 2 onions. We'll do that for each one. We did use bags to mix them up. It's a little easier to mix up the ingredients, and that's what we do. Next thing we'll do is we'll put the screws on. We'll get the water, the pressure canner going, and you'll see the next video we'll see is us putting them into the pressure canner where they'll sit for 90 minutes. Okay. All right, we got the stuff in the can. We put 2 to 3 inches of water in the bottom of the pressure canner, and once the jars are in, actually, it's up almost to the shoulders of each jar. But you can't let the steamer run dry, and I'm following instructions. So. Make sure we're seated okay. All right. Tightening down the opposites. Got to loosen that one up a little more. Yeah, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Okay, we should be solid. Now, what we're not going to put the weight on. We have to let it vent. Once it starts hissing, we have to wait 10 minutes, and that's called venting. When you're doing pressure canning, that's what you have to do. So you're not going to get any reading on the pressure gauge or anything. It's just you're going to wait till you visibly see and hear steam escaping. You're going to go 10 minutes. And then you put your weight on, and then we're looking at 90 minutes of total canning before everything's done. So now comes the monitoring. You don't leave the house during this portion of the cooking. So we'll see you in about 90 minutes. Okay, our time up for venting is up. We'll turn the timer off. And always wear a glove, because that's extremely hot steam coming out. We're looking to set the, I don't know if you can zero in on that, or we're putting it on 10 pounds. Now you should see the creep up here as the pressure builds up, and it'll go up to 10 pounds, which is here. And from there we start the timer and we rock and roll for 90 minutes. So we'll have some stew venison in about 90 minutes. Alright, it's been 90 minutes. A little over 90 minutes, because it was 10 minutes before, and it took about 15 minutes for it to cool afterwards. We have to let it cool on its own. I took the straps down. We're down to 0 pressure, so we'll go ahead and open her up and see if we got any broken jars, which I hope not. Always open it away. Smart guy. And we check inside. Now, to eliminate some of that, the powdery residue that you see on there, you can put vinegar in, which I didn't do. I should do that. A little vinegar in the water that you put in. And so we'll take these out. They're still boiling away inside. You can do a close-up look at that. Look at it boiling away. All that soup broth that we put in there, it's making a natural broth inside, soaking into the meat. Going to give it a lot of good flavor. While we were waiting, we had about 3.5 extra pounds, and I ground that up. And that's going to be made into meat spaghetti meat for tonight. So no waste here at the household. Looks like everything worked out great. We'll get the rest of these off. They'll have to cool down. The lids will snap shut. And they can be good for up to 2 years. The government says up to 1 year, but they're not going to last that long. So we're going to make a lot more of this. It was pretty simple. It's just a little time consuming. But when you think about it, this is good. No refrigeration needed. Go put it down in the cellar in the dark, and it's good for a while. Look at that thing go. That's crazy. Crazy. All right, take care. Cheers.